I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share it with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars ain't...
What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Drew McIntyre is the new WWE Undisputed Champion. Drew McIntyre won the 3 Stages of Hell match. This was great. Now, this was spoiled, not for me, but it was spoiled because spoilers came out around 3 p.m. I was able to catch some of Smackdown around that time frame, but not all of it. So I had to go back and watch it at 8. But I did not watch the main event, which was great. So that was not spoiled for me. But this was making its rounds around Twitter about 5 or 6 p.m., more than likely, I would assume. And that's fine. But Drew McIntyre winning makes perfect sense. I am a fan of Cody, but Drew McIntyre winning was the right decision. It was. Cody's second reign as champion was awful. He had no real direction. Cody should have lost to John Cena at SummerSlam, and Cody should have won the title back at either Survivor Series or Saturday Night's Main Event from last year. But that's just me. That's what I would have done. Cody should have been Cena's final opponent all along, but it is what it is. There's nothing that can be done about it. But Drew McIntyre winning once again was the right decision. So we are going to start with the main event. We're going to get into Smackdown from January the 9th, 2026. The main event of the evening, Drew McIntyre wins the 3 Stages of Hell match. This was commercial free. So the last 45 minutes of the show was commercial free, which was good. Although there were times, like with the Carmelo and Shinsuke Nakamura match, that was in picture-in-picture sometimes. So yeah, it is what it is. But this match in particular had no commercial, had no ad breaks, which was awesome, which was great. So Drew ends up winning the first fall, the first stage. He low blows Cody. The referee doesn't see it, and then he hits the Claymore 1, 2, 3. Then this leads us into the second stage of Hell, which was the Falls Count Anywhere. They just brawled in the arena, pretty much. Cody ended up doing a splash onto a table from a really high part of the arena, taking out Drew. Drew survived that. He kicked out. Cody ended up hitting a crossroads to the announce table for the 1, 2, 3. Now they're 1-1. Then we now go into the third and final fall. Oh, my bad, not fall, but stage. And that was the steel cage. So Cody and Drew just hit finishers. Drew hit a Claymore. Cody kicked out. Cody hit a crossroads. Drew kicked out. Cody ended up doing a super Cody cutter off of the steel cage, which was dangerous. Cody needs to watch that shit. I was really scared for Cody with that one. He does not need to do that. He really doesn't need to do stuff like that. He really doesn't. He does not. No. Don't do that shit. Don't do it. And the finish came when Cody and Drew were down and out. So Drew was trying to crawl towards crawl and get out of the steel cage. So there was a hooded man that showed up in black. It was revealed to be Jacob Fatu, who got a really good reaction. He ended up slamming the cage door in Drew's face. He ended up getting involved in the steel cage, beating up Drew McIntyre, and then he goes off the hinges and he beats the shit out of Cody Rhodes. And in all this chaos, this allows for Drew McIntyre to slither his way on the outside of the ring, and then he wins. So this was great. Really good stuff here. I was happy with this finish. This makes sense. Again, they've been booking Drew as this chicken shit heel for a while, even though he should not be booked like this. He should be booked like a fucking badass, because he is, but I'll take it. But Drew winning this way, it does make sense. So, post-match, Cody, he ended up beating up Jacob Fatu. So, it seems to me that they're probably going to take Cody out of the title picture for quite some time. I wouldn't say a year. I would say maybe about a good 6 to 8 months. I would not say a full calendar year. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. But Drew winning was the right decision. It makes perfect sense. This is great. I don't care that this was taped or spoiled earlier on. Who cares? The right decision was made, and I will give Triple H some praise and credit that he deserves, which, is fine. I'm happy that this took place, because if Cody would have won, then Drew McIntyre would have been officially buried, and there would have been no saving grace for Drew McIntyre. And Drew now gets to let the moment, sneak in and everything else. He's now champion in more than 5 minutes. There are guys that he can feud with, like Damian Priest. They had some words earlier on in the night. So there are guys that Drew can go with. I would do the Cody and Jacob Fatu feud. I would go with them for a while. Then after Jacob Fatu, you go with Randy. You do kind of want to get Cody out of the title picture for quite some time. I don't know how you could do it for a full-fledged year unless you do the Orton story. Unless you do the Randy and Cody story. And that, to me, I think I would love to see Randy and Cody non-title, without the title on the line, without neither of them holding the championship, how badass that feud could be, and what these guys could do, and the types of wars that they could have with each other. The promos and everything else, and maybe Randy punting Cody and beating him up pretty bad where we don't see Cody for a month or two. Stuff like that. Like, progress the story out further. And I'm hoping that they go that route, because that, to me, makes the most sense. But Cody losing was the absolute right decision. It had to be made. Right? So, I do like this. I truly do. This was smart by Triple H. It was. How long does Drew hold the championship? I don't know, really. I couldn't tell you. Because you don't want to have Cody win. You don't want to do another Cody-Drew match. Not even at like a WrestleMania. So, I don't know. But I don't want to see another Cody and Drew match. I really don't. I don't want to see that for at least a year. We don't need to see any more Cody Drew for the remainder. Well, for the rest of this year, for the rest of this calendar year, we don't need to see Cody and Drew lock up again. And I do mean that in all seriousness. So I'm guessing, Cody being in this chase position is great. And I like this. As long as Cody's facing a bunch of adversity and shit, I'm down for it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the remainder of the show. So we kicked the show off with Randy Orton. He comes out. He just welcomes everyone to Smackdown. He's interrupted by Trick Williams, who still got a good reaction in Germany, in Berlin. He says another star comes out every week to say it's their year. He says a new star has arrived, and his name is Trick Williams. And then he says he doesn't know about Germany, but every country in the world loves him, which is correct. He says that he questions how people can't love him as a 6'5", 250-pound man, and then he tells Randy to do the math and says it's 2026 and not 2006. Randy says he too is 6'5", 270 pounds with 5 kids and one smoking hot wife. Then says the only number that matters to him is 14 because that's how many titles he's won in his career. And he admits to seeing a star in Trick Williams, but there's one thing that he's not so sure about Trick Williams, and that's his decision to interrupt him. Trick Williams says that he agrees with Randy being one of the greatest of all time, and he appreciates the kind words from Randy Orton, and then he draws the line with Randy saying that he's got no brains and puts Randy on notice. He says it's not the year of the Viper, but it's the year of but it's the year of whipping that Trick around the world. Randy reminds Trick not to turn his back on him and tells him he'll let the first one slide, but it won't be a second time unless Trick Williams wants an ass kicking. So Trick then slaps the mic out of Randy's hands, and then Randy attacks Trick Williams, and then he hits a draping DDT on him. Then The Miz shows up. He attacks Randy from behind, and then he eats an RKO. And then this allows for Trick to get out of dodge. Basically, he's selling the DDT on the outside that he took from Randy in the ring. So this is a pretty good way to start the show. Then Rey Fenix comes out, who gets a pretty good reaction. And then this leads us into the first match of the night. Trick Williams defeats Rey Fenix. He wins via a roll-up, via the tights, which is fine. This makes perfect sense. This match was pretty fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Thankfully, Rey didn't hurt Trick too bad. He gave him a taste of Lucha Libre a little bit, which is fine. But Trick winning was the right decision, and I like how Trick won. It didn't completely hurt Phoenix. Rey can come back from this, obviously. And so this is a pretty good way to start the show. Good stuff there. Moving on from that, this leads us into Byron Saxton. He's backstage with Damian Priest. Damian Priest gets into a verbal exchange with Drew McIntyre. Then Drew speaks to Byron Saxton, saying that he's going to hurt Cody and everything else. And he's taken one of Cody's most valuable assets, and that's Dusty's watch, his gold watch, that he used to wear before he fell on hard times. Okay, so there's that good stuff there. Moving on from that, this leads us into Alexa Bliss. She's on the phone with Charlotte Flair, who's under the weather, telling her to rest up and recover. Nia Jax and Last Legend approach Alexa Bliss, and then a brief verbal confrontation ensues, and that was it. So whatever. Moving on from that, Julia defeats Alexa Bliss. She retains the Women's U.S. Championship. Julia still gets no reaction, and it's not good. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. I don't. I'm a fan of Julia. I like Julia, but I don't know what you can do to get her over. I really don't. I don't. She gets no reaction, man. And that's not good. This has been going on for weeks. This is some horrible shit. Moving on from that. Post-match, Last Legend and Nia Jax, they beat up Alexa Bliss. Yay, who cares? Moving on, this leads us into the Wyatt Six versus the MFTs 8-man tag. I didn't watch this shit. I didn't care about it. This was one of the matches that I saw a little bit of earlier on, around 3, when the show aired, when SmackDown aired on Netflix. The MFTs got the win. Solo rolled out of the ring. He got the lantern. That distracted Uncle Howdy. This allowed for Tama Tonga to hit the coat threat with, the cut throat to win. A.K.A. the hidden blade that Will Ospreay does in AEW in New Japan when Will was there. I don't care about this shit. In this lame-ass feud, this feud sucks. I'm tired of both factions. It's dumb. End this shit, please. Moving on. Jordynne Grace defeats Alba Fire. So she's officially a part of the Blue brand. She signed her contract earlier on in the show. So, whatever. Who gives a damn? I'm glad that she's there. Then Jade Cargill showed up. She stared down Jordynne Grace. She circles her, and she tells Jordynne Grace, well, she thinks she did something special. She thinks that she did something and that she's special. Grace is on her show, and she's that bitch. Okay, that's fine there. Moving on. This leads us into more backstage stuff. So, Nathan Frazier's backstage. He's attacked by Johnny Gargano, who's dressed in Axiom's old blue mask. So, there's that. Who cares? I don't give a damn about this shit. Moving on, Carmelo Hayes is still doing the open challenge. It's answered by Shinsuke Nakamura. Carmelo Hayes retains the U.S. Championship via the Nothing But Net. The match was pretty okay. And that was Smackdown, basically. That was Smackdown in a nutshell, man. So, that's fine there. Actually, that wasn't all of Smackdown. So, towards the end of the show, Nick Aldis, he had a video right before the main event. He announced that whoever walks out of the three stages of hell match with the Undisputed WWE Championship, they'll have their new number one contender. It's going to be determined by a series of 4 qualifying matches, which start next week. And the winner of those matches are going to face each other at Saturday night's main event on January 24th, a week before the Royal Rumble, to see who's going to face Drew McIntyre. So they're going to have a fatal 4-way. This is whack. This is not good. Trick Williams is in one of these. Sami Zayn's in one of these. Ilya Dragunov's in one of these. So Sikoa's in one of these. And I think somebody else is in this as well, but I can't remember their name. But that's fine. Oh, Randy Orton's in one of these as well. So that's cool. I like that. I don't like the fact that they're just doing a Fatal 4-Way a week before. So I'm guessing you'll have Sami Zayn that's going to advance. Maybe Trick Williams. Yeah, maybe Trick Williams is going to advance. Randy will advance. And maybe Solo will advance. I'm thinking that's going to be the Fatal 4-Way. I hate to say that, but that makes sense. Randy, Trick, Sammy, Solo. I mean, you got to go with those 4 guys. I mean, I like Ilya, but we know Ilya's not going to win. You got to go with Sammy because it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. So, yeah. You got to go with Sammy. you got to pull the trigger on Sammy. I mean, he needs to win the Fatal 4-Way. So, that's what needs to happen. I would just do Sammy, Drew, get it out the way. Sammy loses. I do appreciate the fact that they are going to have the title on the line at the Royal Rumble. So that's 3 matches right there. The Men and Women's Royal Rumble and the WWE Championship match with Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. Because we all know Sami Zayn's going to win. And like I just said, the people who advance are going to be Trick Williams, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and Solo Sikoa. Those are going to be the 4 guys who are going to win their matches. It makes the most sense. Because Randy's taking on The Miz. So we know Randy's going to win anyway. And that shouldn't even last for like a minute. I mean, I like The Miz, but come on, man, really. But to me, that's whack. But Sammy versus Drew at the Rumble, to me, that's fine. I'll take it. I mean, we all know Sammy's going to probably win the Rumble, maybe. I don't know. But if Sammy does lose, which he will, then I think Sammy should go after CM Punk. I don't want Sami Zayn to go after the WWE Championship. I want him to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. Why? Because that makes the most sense. That's the work rate title. That's what needs to happen. So maybe Sammy loses to Drew at the Rumble. He wins the Rumble, and then he goes back to Raw to challenge Punk or whoever has the title around that time frame and wins it at Mania 42. So there is that. But all in all, SmackDown was, for the most part, boring as shit. I did like the main event. That was pretty good. Carmelo Hayes and Nakamura had a pretty good match. What do you do with Nakamura? I guess you're probably going to continue to build on that story with him and Tama Tonga. So, whatever. I don't care about that. And I did like the interaction between Randy and Trick. I thought that was good, too. So, good stuff there. But Drew McIntyre winning was chef's kiss. Really good stuff there. But what did you guys think of SmackDown? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.